All right, everybody, we are back. It is Taped Online's favorite Raiders podcast, favorite Raiders channel, favorite Raiders everything. I see the comments are going crazy already. So, but
Wonder
you guys
why.
are. I wonder why. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at DMarkJohn NFL for me, at MHolder95 for Matt, and of course PandaSups.com TDL for 35% off. All right, guys, man. So, the Raiders lost. Was it 22-10?
Yep, so I'm looking at it right now. Got the stats
22
up.
to 10.
10.
22-10. It was a game that they could have won, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about it, Matt, but I feel like it was a game that they could have won.
I mean,
I don't know how you feel about it.
The Chargers didn't score a touchdown until the fourth quarter, and at that, I mean, I guess it was the very beginning of the fourth quarter, but yeah, you score once in the first quarter, and that's about it. You can't get anything going offensively, which, I mean, it's bad. I don't know. It's bad. We knew the offense was going to be great, but it felt like it was worse today. And that's
Yeah. I mean, that was the biggest problem for today. So it was 22-10. I don't even know how many rushing yards they ended up with, the Chargers, but J.K. Dobbins went off. I was upset that I started him in fantasy, but it ended up helping me, and I'm kind of upset about it. So, but they went off. He went off at the end of the game. Had some big runs at the end of the game. So
176 170 team.
Yeah, 176
for
team.
Dobbins, pretty much.
Yeah. Gus Edwards didn't do too much, man. And it just offensively, it just felt like they just never got going. Right? It felt like they would get something going and then they would stop. It would get something going and then they would stop. Then maybe they'd run into a sack, and then maybe they would like fumble. You know what I mean? And then he finished the game with that interception at the end of the game. It was just frustrating to watch. It was frustrating. Maybe there was like some decent moments from Minshew, but there's also some really ugly ones. So it was just frustrating to watch for me, man. I was just frustrated watching that offense. We'll see what happens when that goddamn film comes out, and I'll be able to break down the film. I text Matt like, let's switch. I think we should switch this year. And Matt said no. Matt said no, he's not switching. That's cool. All right, Matt. I mean, I understand. I get it.
To sweeten the pot. Like that's like trade offer me like a 7th rounder for a 1st rounder and be like, hey, I'll give you 2 7s exactly to sweeten the pot.
Two
like,
sevens?
No chance.
Yeah, man, and I don't know. It's hard to describe because when you talk about it, Minshew stats are you look at it, he's 25 for 33, and he had a pretty good YPA and all that stuff, and then Samir White didn't run the ball that well. They didn't run the ball really well, which was the biggest problem of the whole game. But the offense just felt.
Well, like you were talking about,
it just felt weird. I don't know. I just felt weird. But go ahead.
When they got stuff going, like the offensive line would let them down. Like there was one series that like stuck out in my head where like it felt like they were starting to get something going. Like they hit Mayer on like a big 3rd down on that slant route, and then like a couple plays later hit Bowers, who actually thought a pretty good game for his debut. I think ended up with like 50 yards or something like that, 58 yards. And then like all of a sudden they get 2 sacks, Khalil Mack. And it was frustrating too, because it's like 2 things we previewed. Khalil Mack with his speed to power, not even a great long arm, walks Colton Miller into Gardner Minshew, and then Dylan Parham doesn't pick up the stunt on the from Joey Bosa, and he ended up getting a sack. And I think it was like that put him in like 3rd and 30. And I don't think they were quite in field goal range, but like, obviously you get a few yards, you even get 1 first down, you at least get points on the board. And they just literally went in the opposite direction to end up blowing the game. And in a game that was tight up until the end, until the Chargers ran away with it. Brutal. I mean, it was. And as far as Minshew goes, it's like the O-line to me was the biggest problem today. I don't think there's any getting around that. Like you talk about Samir White, like they were getting stuffed. The interior 3 was getting stuffed the entire game. And then, like I said, Miller didn't have his best game. Their pass rush was kind of teeing off on them. And then on top of it, Gardner Minshew walks into a sack. I think at least one of them today. I think that you pointed out on Twitter. And then I think that was the biggest issue with him is like, it's like he has the fumble, right, that he throws up backwards that just literally slipped out of his hand. And he didn't really make any other plays to like make up for it. It wasn't like he was like like making things happen, like which is what you want out of Gardner Minshew, right? Like you'll take the negative plays, you'll take the weird fumbles, as long as he gives you the big ones, and the big one didn't come today. Like even though he had the numbers, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that's my problem. My problem with Minshew is that like it's just walking into the sacks. Like the one play where he ran for like 3 yards and Adams was wide open and he didn't throw it to him. Like that's the thing. Like so when we look at the stats and you know one dude's he's mad at me on Twitter. He's going off of me because I don't know why he's mad, but he's mad. And that's the thing.
It's
like
your fault.
It's my fault because you know I'm not the biggest Gardner Minshew fan. I've been on this channel and we said that, right? I'm not. And
Yeah.
And you saw some of the things that like you don't like, which is like him running into sacks, him not throwing the ball when he needs to, him depending on being mobile when he's not that fast. But there was some good throws on there. I mean, there's some good throws to Adams, there's some good throws to Bowers and stuff like that. It was a little bit of a mixture in, but you just can't take those sacks and things like that when this offense isn't moving. And that was my problem with it, is that Luke Getsy's not going to help him.
Yeah.
Right. Luke Getsy's not going to save his life like Shane Steichen can. Right. Shane Steichen was giving him a lot of easy looks, making it look really easy for him. But like with Minshew, you know, and Luke Getsy, I mean, it's going to be more on Minshew staying within the offense and running what Getsy wants to run, because there's not going to be a lot of that things where he could just kind of what I would say, I don't know, like
draw the stick in the mud, the backyard football type of stuff.
Yeah, the backyard football type of stuff. It just wasn't working, and he's just not fast enough for that type of stuff. Yeah. So it just becomes ugly. And then when you can't run the ball, right?
Yeah.
And you know, we talked about this on Friday Night Live. He was 8 for 17 when they throw the ball more than 30 times. 8 for 18 now. So you know, you don't want him throwing the ball more than 30 times. You know, something's eventually going to start going wrong, whether there's a fumble or there's an interception or something like that. There's still 2 turnovers in this game. So it wasn't the best performance from him either. But you know, the defense played pretty well, but they just cracked after a while, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a broken record from last year. It's like I was actually looking at the time of possession. The Raiders actually won the time of possession, but that felt like because the defense was getting so many 3-and-outs and they actually played well. And then at some point too, like beyond just like the time of possession and being on the field so long, like there's a moral aspect of like when you're playing well and then the offense just can't get anything going. It's like, damn, we have to do this again. We have to go out there and save us again. Like they had the Chargers had the ball in the Raiders possession twice, and like they held in the field goals twice. Like that's exactly what you want from your defense.
Yeah,
and you just had to keep doing that, and then obviously at the end, like one of the things that breaks you down in those situations is your run defense, and that's exactly what happened. Like for the most part, like they did a decent job against the run, and like there were a few nice plays by like Christian Wilkins, John Jenkins. Like they thought through 3 quarters they dominated the defensive line, dominated the Chargers up front for the most part.
Yeah.
And then again, just like it's hard to do that. It's hard to stop the run in the NFL for 4 quarters when you have to do that, and your offense just can't get anything going. It just felt like, again, like a repeat of last year, where we're sitting here saying like the defense is just physically and morally beat down because they have to keep saving the day, and you just can't win like that. So.
No, and then they eventually broke down, man. You know, they're stopping the run really well in the first half.
Yeah,
and you know, Crosby, Wilkins, all those guys are playing really well. And then it just kind of just broke down eventually, man.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see. Like, I mean, Dobbins was what 10 for 176 or something, or not, maybe not that many, but 10 for
135, I think.
135. There it is. Yeah, 176 was the total they had. But yeah, 10 for 135. So had like a 13-yard carries, but 2 of those were long runs that he just broke when, again, you know, Raiders defense didn't play well in there. They missed tackles on some of those runs, but like you could tell, like this is a unit that's just getting tired and needs something else from the other side of the ball to pick them up at the end of the day, which I know I'm not breaking any news here. You can just look at the scoreboard and see that. But yeah, and 3 points in the second half, just can't win like that.
Yeah. You know, I think the bigger elephant in the room too is the 4th and 1s.
Yeah.
I think that's a big elephant in this room is the 4th and 1s. Like to be honest, like if you don't have any faith in the offense that you can't get 1 yard, then maybe like I don't know what your plan is, bro. I don't know what the hell your plan is. But go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, I was just gonna ask. You're on the. I mean, I know I am. I was on the side. You got to go for that, right? On the 4th and 1 when you're down 6.
Both times.
Yeah, down 6. Yeah.
Both times, bro. Because you know it just doesn't make any sense. Because like like you got to give your offense some kind of momentum too, right? I mean, if your
Yeah.
offense isn't working and they keep getting stopped, and I know, I mean, you went for it on your own 40 or some shit like that. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, there's
Exactly.
no difference there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
And it's like at that point,
yeah, it's
and
bad,
like
bro.
they end up breaking off a long run. Like, and like you're saying, like at that point, you've got to build some sort of momentum and just kind of gamble. Like, there is a little bit of a law of averages of like, yeah, I understand you can stuff, but at one point you've got to think you guys can get you 1 yard in a game in a situation like that. And you kind of got to put your nuts on the line. And at the end of the day, like they didn't. They took their they tucked their tail between their legs a little bit there, and it still didn't pay off for them. So at the end of the day, like I feel like that's got to be a lesson learned for AP. Like, just go for it, because especially with that that's following, like you never know what's going to happen. Your defense can still give it up, especially when they've been holding you up all freaking game. And that's at some point something's going to break through for the Chargers.
I just want to tell Jason, man, there's a great Chargers pad called Guilty as Charged. You can go watch that, bro. There's a great Chargers pad. They're probably doing it live right now. They're breaking down the Chargers. It's a great pod. Shout out my dude Steve. I just want to let him know that, because you feel like he's in the wrong place.
I don't understand why anyone would be. I don't. Yeah, I don't understand why any Raider fan would be happy. Like, I feel like nothing we've said is like, it's not our fault.
They lost, bro. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Anyways, man. All right, man. So, but see, that's the thing. Like, when you watch this game, right? When you watch this game, man, I mean, the defense is pretty damn good. And, you know, and they started cracking at the end. I understand that. But, man, were they dominating in that first half. They were dominating in the first half. I even thought they dominated a little bit in the second half. If Minshew doesn't have that fumble, right? I mean, it might be a totally different game, because I feel like the game really turned on that fumble. Like, the Raiders were kind of in control. They even had I think he had a good pass before that, right? I think he had a good pass to Brock Bart. I don't remember.
No, he did. Yeah, he had. Yeah, it was the typical Minshew. Like it might have been like I can't quite remember what it was, but yeah, he had like a decent play, and then he turns around and immediately screws it up.
Yeah. And it was just the ugliest play too. It was just embarrassing, right? Embarrassing type of play, man. And you know, when that happens, that kind of just changed the trajectory of the whole game. You know what I mean? And I feel like because that gave them the momentum going into halftime, right? And then you know, the Raiders got the ball, and then I think they punted it right after that when they got the ball again, because there was a lot of 3 and outs today, right? There was a lot of 3 and outs. And when they did move the ball, they didn't finish drives. And then you have to, you know, be aggressive when you're not winning like this. I mean, you and that's the thing with the 4th and 1s. It's like when it's 4th and 1 and you're on your own damn 40, bro. You can't punt, man. I mean, this is that what more pisses me off is now I got to see all the nerds all week. All week I got to see the nerds just talking shit about the Raiders, because and they're right though. They're right. Yeah. But it's just frustrating to watch. I don't want to hear the nerds. But now we got to listen to the nerds talk about, oh, look, you pinned them deep, didn't you? All that other shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, they're already on it, bro.
They're already on it. I think Gutierrez tweeted out like ESPN's analytics basically like disagreed with it, which again, I don't think anyone agreed with it, especially with the way it ended or the way it turned out. But it was like, yeah, like a 68% like conversion rate or whatever. Like basically like it's a 68% yes that you go for it, and he didn't. But
yeah, like I just don't understand like why he did. Like, to the first time, like if you're gonna go for it on your own 40, like did I like spook him or something? I must have spooked him, because I think that was a big part of this game. Is like, I mean, because even how the offense looked, right, and I think the offense just looked just weird. So I'm saying, like, it's hard. Like, you can look at the stats of Minshew. He's 33-25. I mean, he did have the pick, but he had like pretty good YPA. Like, the stats show like, okay, maybe he played okay, right? If you're just looking at the stats itself, right? But like, just the way it just felt like they're just a little bit discombobulated. Like, they couldn't really run the ball really well, and then they didn't play action a lot. They didn't even try to like make open looks for Minshew either. So
Yeah.
it was just weird, man. It was a weird game to watch. And then the fourth downs were killer, in my opinion. They were killer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, it was killer, man. I don't know. But I mean, as I'm saying, like it feels like we're gonna waste the defense, in my opinion, because like next week. Go ahead.
I was just saying this, like I've been asking for a good Raiders defense for so long, and then it comes at the expense of a just god awful offense in the last 2 years. Like how this is just life as a Raider fan. Like finally they get a defense, and now they can't do shit with on offense.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we've been waiting for this type of defense for years. Like you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
and it just now like they just don't have the quarterback to do anything, and it feels like they could have been more aggressive at that position. You know, we could talk about AOC. Maybe AOC makes a couple of more of those throws or whatever, and maybe he doesn't take a couple of those sacks and just for the ball and some of those throws. But who knows how much better he would have did? You know what I mean? Like they didn't take the quarterback position that serious, right? And we really saw it this week. That's what we saw. We saw a team that didn't take. They thought that they could just play some defense, run the football, but you can't run the football today. So guess what? You got to throw the ball. And it wasn't working. It wasn't going to work. It was not working. Yeah. It wasn't going to happen for them. So it just ended up being just like, I don't know. It just ended up being just like a couple drives and then stop. Couple hits, stop. Couple hits, stop. And it just got ugly, man. It just wasn't great.
Yeah. I mean, even their one touchdown was a 31-yard swing pass where Alexander Madison just hurdled 2 defenders. Like that was like kind of the one drive they did finish was kind of like on a unique play. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they
a freak really play, methodically.
Right? Yeah, a little bit of a freak play. I mean, great play by Alexander Madison, but again, I don't know if that's the guy you want to be relying on to be making big plays for you. And
like, how many times were they in the red zone?
I don't think they had a snap in the red zone. I remember late in the game, like they showed the stat, like on that the Chargers had like at the time 6 red zone snaps and the Raiders had none. I don't think they ever got in the red zone. Let me see. I think they have it. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't get to the red zone.
See that's the problem.
You don't have red zone problems if you don't get there.
0 red zone snap. 0.
They had 1 apparently.
0 red zone snaps, man.
Maybe at the end. It says on ESPN they had 1, so I don't know if they maybe got one at the end there. Did they?
Maybe at the end of the game.
At the end of the game, yeah, I don't know.
So, but that kind of shows how the offense played, right? Yeah. As I'm saying, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about and show whatever stats we want to show, but they didn't get in the red zone, man. I mean, it threw a whole NFL football game.
Yeah,
and it's not like that. And that's the thing. This was such a winnable game because the Chargers, you know, and Greg Roman, they really weren't doing anything on offense. I mean, I don't know what Justin Herbert's gonna look like this year. I feel kind of bad for him, to be honest. So I see Jason just talking all that shit, man. But like, man, I feel you should be worried, Jason. To be honest, with your boy Greg over there. So it was just like it felt like it was a game that they should have won based on how the defense is playing. They were in that game in the whole first half, but they just went 3 and out, 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 touchdown, 3 and out, 3 and out, fumble, and then it came back, a couple hits to Brock Bowers and sack. I don't know how many times he got sacked. How many times he get sacked? About 5 times, I thought.
They had it with 4 officially.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 4. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so that's the saying. It was a game that they should have won this game.
Yeah, I counted 6 3 and outs. 6 3 and outs.
But when you don't have the offense doing anything, and you don't have the offense moving the ball.
Offense, yeah, the offense had 6 3 and outs.
6 3 and outs. Awesome.
Yeah, out of 13 drives.
That's awesome.
Well, one of them was a fumble technically, but it was 3 plays.
Does that count as a 3 and out? All right,
I mean, you ran 3 plays and you're out the field.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's get some of these questions.
So 5 3 and outs out of 13 is that any better?
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not, bro. It's not. All right. Was it Minshew the issue or the O line? You know,
The O line was the big. To be fair to Minshew, the O line was a bigger issue. Like
yeah,
I
it
said,
was.
Colton Miller didn't even have his best game. But
Yeah, he had a bad
like
game.
we talked about a little bit, like with Minshew and leading up to the season, is he doesn't make it better. Is the problem? Like he's like yes, he scrambles, but like he also, like you said, will dance around and run and into pressure and into sacks. But it was definitely the O line was the bigger issue today. It's just Minshew again didn't make enough plays to overcome it, and what you kind of hope for from a quarterback in that situation. And again, didn't make it any real big plays in the game as a whole.
Yeah, man. It just wasn't. It was bad, man. It was bad. You said you were right, Marcus. Took one game for everybody to turn on Minshew. I told you, Raiders fans are they'll turn on you real quick. You think AOC would have done better? A bunch of Raiders fans. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he hits a couple more checkdowns. Maybe he hits Adams on that hitch route. You know what I mean? Like it's like maybe like a couple small things.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Like maybe just a couple things that are boring that he might have done better. But I don't know.
I mean,
it's hard for me to say.
Yeah, I think the only hope would be he might have gotten the ball out a little bit faster. But again, I don't think with the O line, with the way they're playing, it would have made much of a difference. To be honest.
No, it might have been worse, man. You never know, right? Did Colton come back too early?
I mean, I guess you could go either way with that. It could be too early. It could also be he's still not like in shape or whatever, not ready to go, missing all the time.
Yeah, and I think Khalil Mack has his number a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's always been like Colton's gotten better at it, but he's always been more athletic than like being able to be that can anchor. And against Mac, you got to be able to anchor. You got to be able to do both, honestly.
Yeah, and his problem also has always been leaving his chest open, which you showed on the film where we were doing the preview. He's always left his chest open a little bit, and he's gotten better at anchoring. You're right, but against Khalil Mack, man, that's a strong man.
Sometimes I think those long ass arms, man, they can work against you. It's harder to get them in nice and tight. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I got a paid question here from Anthony. Shout out Anthony giving us that $4.99. You have to wait until after Baltimore before starting AOC. You guys agree? Yeah, I think so. But I talked about this before that if Minshew doesn't play good and they start 0-2, I think we could see O'Connell going into the Panthers game. A lot of people thought that we would get 4, but I thought they would have to win this game for him to get 4. So I mean, he has the stats though. So like, if they want to make an excuse, like it's true. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
stats are there, right? Right? I mean, they could be like, well, he went did this and did that, right? And they might make some excuses for it, but we'll see. I mean, they're still gonna watch the film. So
I think building on what you're talking about with the stats, like you can point to that, and you can again point to what I was talking about earlier. Like, yes, he didn't play great, but it was also the O line was the bigger problem. So you can kind of throw that excuse in there for him too. But I still kind of think he gets. I still kind of think he gets more than 2 games, but we'll see. But yeah, you have to roll him out next week. No changing after 1 week.
I like DJ's optimism. We can because the Panthers look terrible today, and so do the Browns. So
I mean, we'll see. Deshaun Watson still looks like ass, but the Browns were playing the Cowboys, who were looking like they were on fire. Dak, of course, as he signs his extension and killing all our hopes for him to being a Raiders free agent, looks like it has a great game today.
Yeah, it just cracks me. People are so anti AOC. I just don't understand why. Like, I just don't like. Isn't that Chiefs game, man? Like, it is just like this dude said AOC sucks. Like, man, I just don't. Like, goddamn, man. Just like, what did he do to you guys? You just can't move. Is that what it is? Like, I don't understand what he did. Like, it's just that that people just hate him that much. He's got some serious haters. This is weird to me. But go ahead.
Carter Bradley, anybody?
Carter Bradley, right? Maybe go Carter. Maybe go Carter, man. Maybe go Carter, bro. Maybe go Carter, man. Maybe go Carter.
I don't mean to go too doom and gloom, but it could be one of those seasons where like throwback to like the 2000s where like 4 different guys start for you, and we look back and we're like, damn.
Oh man. We got another one. We haven't been in this position if Okado wasn't there at the start of the game. But see, it's up and down. Okado has some haters, and how long until Devontae forces his way out? I don't know, man. We gotta hope. See, the thing is, the Baltimore offensive line is bad. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if the defense can show up next week, but if the offense can't do anything, and Kyle Hampton's gonna have a day, and those guys are gonna have a day. You know what I mean? Are the sacks on the O line or on Minshew? A couple are on Minshew, and a couple are on the O line. I'll say that.
Yeah.
What's your take on Getsy? Seemed like he didn't help. I don't. Getsy's not helping anything. That's what I feel like about Getsy. But we'll see, man. I don't know, man.
I feel like there were a few plays, like the first play that literally the first play from scrimmage where they got 9 and then got stuffed on 2 back-to-back runs. Like I actually liked what he did, like a nice easy throw to get Minshew going, and then it was like it felt like after that, like he didn't really help him out. There was also one play that they set up. I'd be curious if you break it down on film where like Minshew threw to I think the running back and it got maybe tipped or something like that, and it looked like they were setting up the tight end screen on the backside that would have been there. So I don't know. Maybe they were trying to help him out and he just wasn't taking it either. But it definitely felt like Getsy like kind of left them out to dry a little bit from the broadcast view, at least.
For sure. Who's making the call to go for it? Is it AP or Get? It's AP, right? AP has to make that call, man.
That's your call as a head coach. And if you listen, if AP deferred that to Getsy, I would have more questions than if he made it on his own, to be honest with you. And I love it. And you guys know I feel about AP. I'm a big AP fan. But if he's deferring to someone else on that, like, no, you got to make that call. You got to put your nuts on the line there.
Let's see. Ryan Tannehill pick. I mean, he's going to the Packers. Tannehill's going to the Packers, man. Yeah, it was just like this game was just weird to watch. I guess it felt like I was like frustrated by the offense, but the defense was keeping in the game. I'm like, okay, maybe if they get some run plays going, and then Zamir White was getting going, and then he fumbled, and then and that's what I'm saying.
That was like that right there was the epitome of being a Raiders fan. Like Zamir rips one off, and Mayer gets called for a holding on a pancake, and then on the next play, Zamir fucking fumbles. Like good on a play he ripped off too. Like he had like I think 10 yards before he fumbled. Like that pretty much summed up the game. It's like anytime they got anything going, like they just found a way to shoot themselves in the foot. Classic freaking Raider game.
Yeah, man. It was weird. The offense was weird to watch for me.
Yeah.
Like, because even like, like before the Minshew fumble, like he hit Brock Bowers. It's like, okay, here we go. Like, okay, all right, Minshew, you're playing pretty well. All right, you're playing. Yeah. And then he just, then the ball slips out of his hand. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, that was the whole thing for me. Like every time I'm like, okay, maybe we're doing something, then something fucking bad happened.
He's like capable of like one big play or one good play at a time. Just couldn't string 2 together. He's like that guy that hitter that keeps going like 1 for 3. It's like, well, he's hitting 300, but just nothing timely.
Yeah, man. And then like when he overthrew Tucker and he like jumped in the air and then Myers got it.
Oh yeah, that was another great one. Yeah, the one that's true. He did have another big play, the scramble where he very clearly, and he even jumped in the air, thought he missed the throw, and Jacoby Myers saved his ass. Yeah, that was a great one. Oh
yeah, man. Do we see DJ Glaze somewhere on the line next week? I don't know, man.
I don't think so, but I'll tell you what. I don't know if JPJ's got the shits or the flu or what, but hopefully he gets over that soon. I mean, I don't know if it was specifically Cody Whitehair, but they need something in the middle of that line.
Yeah, I want to watch the film, bro. I want to see if it was Parham or, I mean, James had some ugly blocks to look like a couple times, man.
In the run game.
Yeah, if AOC keeps Tay happier, they have to make the switch, right? I mean, that's on the coaching staff. Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, not what I was gonna say. I'm gonna save that take for later. I'm not gonna be that guy after week 1. If you might be able to figure out where I might be going with that.
Oh, yeah, man. Because it just like it's just the offense just didn't have any flow to it. Like, and I'm thinking like maybe Getsy's gonna use Adams some choice routes. Like I didn't see any choice routes today. Like I just didn't see anything. Like I didn't see any deep calls. Did they throw a deep ball today?
Well, yeah, they did the one where they got the free play and Minshew underthrew Myers.
Other than that, like I mean, maybe the Chargers are playing too high the whole game. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like I gotta go watch, but
yeah, I mean, it did feel like when Minshew tried to push it, It did feel like when Minshew tried to push it down the field, at least in my perspective, it did feel like when he tried to push it, like he couldn't because of his arm strength that we've been worried about the whole time.
Yeah, man. Oh, it was just frustrating to me to watch this offense, man. It just felt like they would get something going and then it would stop, and then Minshew would run to a sack, and sometimes I just don't like when he uses his legs. I just don't think he's fast, and you just got to get rid of the ball, bro. You just got to get rid of the ball. There's so many playmakers on this team, and you could see it. It's like based on his stats, in my opinion. Like it kind of shows the playmakers that he has. It's the stats. Yeah. Like when he got rid of the ball and he got the ball in the guy's hands, they moved the ball. Like I think Bowers had like 58 yards, Adams had like 60 yards, Myers had 60 yards. Like when he got rid of the ball, like good things happened. But like there's a lot of plays where he didn't get rid of the ball, and it was just annoying. But
his 30-yard touchdown was on a swing pass. And -8 ADOT or -2 ADOT. You know what I mean? Like just get the damn ball out. Like that's and I hate to hammer on it because again it's week 1, but like and that's like the frustrating part, like with the decision of like Minshew over Aiden O'Connell's. I feel like Aiden O'Connell, for his faults and that the fact he won't take shots is one of them, but at least he'll get the damn ball out and let these guys like work through their magic after the catch. Whereas like Minshew tries to play hero ball without having that skill set like a Patrick Mahomes, like a Josh Allen, where I know those guys are the gold standard, but like part of the reason why they get away with it is because they have those tools in their bags, and Minshew tries to do that, and he doesn't have like the prerequisite skills to be able to do it, namely the arm strength.
Yeah, man. To the back. See, this is a film question. I'm gonna answer this question for you when the film drops, man. It's a film question because, like I said, like a lot of it is I'm gonna have to watch this film, man, to see exactly what was happening. You know what I'm saying? How good was Trey's reach back catch? I mean, that's what I'm saying. They have the weapons.
Yeah,
that's why he was 25 for 33. That's why it's because they have the weapons. And Jason's tripping here. You're tripping, Jason. I'm sorry, you're tripping on that one. I need you. Guilty as charged is. I'm sure they're going live right now. It's a great podcast. Steve does a great job over there. I just don't know why you're here. I just don't know why you're here, man. There's a great podcast they have over there, man. And I even got this girl I know. She's texting me. She's a Chargers fan. Everybody, just leave me alone right now. You know what I mean? Like, just leave us alone. This is our therapy right here. Yeah, when the run game ain't working, we ain't doing nothing. I'm seeing if there's any more questions in here, guys. We almost got 1,000 people in here today, Matt.
Ooh, this is good. Man, misery loves company. So I feel like we might do better when the Raiders lose. So
not long term though. If they start over 4, bro,
that's true.
The numbers will die down.
Yeah, that is very true.
I'm gonna have to start watching some Cam Ward like heavily. I'm doing some Cam Ward stuff, man. Doing some Cam Ward. Who else? Who else looked pretty good this week? Carson Beck. Carson Beck is all right, man. He's all right. People don't like Carson, but he's all right. He's all right, man. Because that's how the season's gonna go if they don't fix this. Let's keep it real. This is how the season's gonna go.
Oh yeah.
If they don't fix this shit, it doesn't matter how good the defense. Like I made a tweet, like these guys are the 1979 Falcons. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. Remember that? This is some old school football take. The 1979 Falcons, they set the record for least points allowed in a season. It was 10 points a game or something like that they allowed a whole season in the modern era. I think the Steelers probably did something crazy because guys couldn't block with 2 hands, but they didn't make the playoffs, so they allowed 10 points a game, and that's what I mean. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. It felt like a team that is all defense and is just not making it happen right now on offense, and it just kept stalling after making good plays, and they have the playmakers to get it done, and that was the issue, man. That was the issue. I don't know what else you feel about it.
Right now it's the Lamborghini in that like ghetto, like the shitty house meme. That's basically what it is. It's just we got a lot of Lamborghinis. We got $500,000 in the garage and a $10,000 house.
See, people just like don't like AOC. Like we watched AOC last year. Like, you know what he could do. Like I know the Chiefscape is he gets rid of the ball. Let's say that. He gets rid of the damn ball, man. But we don't have a quarterback. We can say that. It's all right.
Yeah,
like, I understand. The Raiders don't have a quarterback, and that's okay.
And I mean, I think like we said at the beginning, I think even if Aiden O'Connell starts, I don't know if they win this game with how bad the line played, but at the same time, it's just frustrating. It's frustrating. But yeah, at the end of the day, like no quarterback. This was that.
We don't have a quarterback, man. It is obvious. I mean, after this game, we all could take a step back and be like, okay, we don't have a quarterback.
No.
And it's we could lie to ourselves and try to have Minshew mania all we want, and we could do whatever we want to do. They said AOC never threw the ball backwards, which is very true. But we could do whatever we want to do, and we could talk about whatever we want to talk about. But we don't have a quarterback, and we're going to be searching for one. Dak signs, so that's out the window. I mean, Sam Darnold was balling today. I don't know.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, they did. He tore up the Giants defense. Right?
Sam Darnold, I'm looking at Sam like, oh, maybe Sam.
That 7-year bump.
That 7-year bump, man. It's year 7. It's a breakthrough. You know what I mean? It's bad. It's bad. I don't know what else to say, man. You got any other thoughts, Matt? I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Not many. I mean, I'm excited to watch the film this week. I don't know how much of fourth quarter I'll watch. Maybe I'll do a little bit of that on the breakdown as what kind of happened at the end. But yeah, it's for the most part like it was pretty good, pretty good for the defense. So I'm excited to watch it. But I know you got a long couple days ahead of you.
Yeah. I do want to announce to you guys that BD is actually going to be doing member section for defense. Ooh. So I do want to announce that to you guys. I don't know if he's still going to do it after watching this game, but this is good. They play good defense though.
Yeah.
So he's going to be doing members section. So I see some people joining. So he's going to take the time and do some member section for you guys. Of course, it's still me and Matt doing the film review. So just be on the lookout for that. But he's gonna be doing some just to help me out because I'll be doing some member stuff, and so yeah, that's exciting. But it's still gonna be me and Matt doing these film reviews. We're gonna be killing these film reviews. We're killing these instant reactions. But he's gonna be helping out with doing. Obviously he's having some kind of interior feelings about football. Like it's just he just can't stay away. It's just like But yeah, I want to announce that because I feel like we get some positivity out here. Yeah, so like he's gonna be helping out, and he probably Matt's having a baby too. Congratulations to Matt. I'm in some positivity here. Matt. So Matt's having a baby, so he'll probably end up helping then too. So, but it's still me and Matt. I don't want anybody to think it's not me and Matt still. Oh, and it was thank you, Earl. See, Earl, we got our old school guy. Shout out Earl. It was a 77 Falcons. 77. Okay, 77 Falcons. Right? I appreciate you, Earl, for that. Thank you for correcting me on that. But yeah. So be on the lookout for that, guys. We're gonna be out here. I'm still gonna get all the members' content to you guys. We'll be doing that, man. So I'm excited about that. But we're good to go, man. And we're out of here. Hopefully the Raiders can have a better game next week. It's gonna be tough because the Ravens are gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
and Isaiah Likely's mad. Yeah, and Isaiah Likely's really mad. Yeah. I know he's mad. So we'll see, guys. All right, I'm out here.
Peace.